It was a typical day aboard the flight from New York to Los Angeles. In the first row of economy class, an elderly Hasidic Jewish man was trying to fit the large box containing his hat into the overhead bin. One of the flight attendants, a young woman with a weary expression, approached.
"Sir, you need to put that box onto your seat or hold it in your hands. You people always make everything difficult."
Her words stung. Several passengers turned their heads, while the Hasidic man quietly complied, tucking the box awkwardly under his seat. A man seated in business class overheard the exchange. His face darkened, but he remained silent, observing. About an hour later, the same man noticed the flight attendant again. But now she seemed distant, her eyes glistening with tears as she distributed meals. Her hands trembled, and a colleague passing by patted her on the shoulder and whispered softly,
"Alice, don't lose hope. There's always a chance of recovery."
The man stood up and approached her discreetly. "Alice, excuse me, I couldn't help but notice. You seem upset. I'm a doctor. Is there anything I can do to help you?" The flight attendant, caught off guard by his kindness, hesitated. But then, the weight of her grief spilled out.
"It's my son, he's only 10. Diagnosed with cancer. I work overtime just to afford his treatments, but the doctors say there's little hope. I just got a call before the flight. His condition worsened. I don't know what to do."
She was struggling to maintain her composure. Moved by her story, the man asked more details about the boy's condition and the clinic where he was being treated. After a moment he placed a hand on her shoulder and said, "I'm so sorry you're going through this. But don't give up hope just yet. There are breakthroughs happening every day." The flight attendant gave a sad, grateful smile, but in her heart she was resigned to the inevitable. What miracles could possibly save her son now? The next day, back in New York, Alice rushed to the hospital as soon as she landed. Expecting the worst, she was stunned when her son's doctor met her with an unusual expression, one of cautious optimism.
"Something remarkable happened. We have just been contacted by an advanced cancer treatment center in Israel. They have developed a breakthrough for your son's condition, and they're offering to treat him, completely free of charge. A philanthropist has already covered the cost. They're waiting for you both."
Alice was speechless, overwhelmed by the sudden flood of hope. In a few days she and her son were on a plane to Israel. The clinic was a world-class facility, filled with compassionate staff who treated her and her boy like family. Over the course of 2 months, her son began to recover, his strength returning day by day. The once hopeless situation transformed into one of healing, all thanks to this miraculous opportunity. One afternoon, while sitting in the hospital lobby, Alice saw a familiar face. Her breath caught in her throat. It was the man from business class, the doctor who had listened to her in that moment of despair on the plane. Now she realized, and approached him.
"It's you. You are the one who made all of this possible."
The man smiled warmly. "Yes. I own a clinic in New York and work closely with this Israeli hospital. When I overheard your story on the plane, I knew I had to help." Tears welled up in Alice's eyes, but this time they were tears of gratitude.
"But why? Why did you do this? After what I said? How I treated that man?"
"At first, I was angry. Hearing how you spoke to that Hasidic Jew deeply upset me. But then I heard about your son. I wanted to help because I believe in giving second chances. And I thought perhaps by bringing you here, you could see for yourself who we really are." Alice's heart swelled with emotion. She had never met such kindness, especially from someone she had wronged.
"I've learned so much. Thank you. For saving my son's life. And for showing me the true heart of your people. I'll never forget this."
The doctor nodded. "We all make mistakes. What matters is how we move forward. And remember, there is always hope."
If you like our content, could you please subscribe this channel, and press the bell icon. This will be of great help to the development of our channel, as we are going to provide you huge amount of interesting information about different places all over the world, and more.